Hey guys, and girls. Today I want to talk about Ghostface Killah's 12 Reasons to Die, his latest album. Obviously, this is not your traditional 12 Reasons to Die, or what I perceive it as. When I bought this at the record store in Winnipeg, I had just read the Spanish. Didn't look anywhere else. I just assumed that it was their regular edition, but with Spanish titles. That did not turn out too well. Always look into things, and if you don't know what it is, don't buy it. It says right up there, instrumental, which I assume just means instrumental, and that's what it is. I bought the 12 Reasons to Die instrumental record for like $40. Kind of a disappointment, but all honesty, and this is kind of getting to the review portion of this video, but the beats on this are just amazing. The ones on this one are produced by Younge, who's an amazing producer. Everything was kind of supervised by the RZA, so you can get the Wu-Tang feel. I'm definitely listening to this, like just the beats. I could just sit down, relax. These beats are kind of like an orchestra, which is, you know, it's kind of what the Wu-Tang is when you listen to their music. The RZA likes to have lots of kind of instrumentals towards kind of more classical kind of music, in addition to the boom bap kind of beats, which definitely gives this a unique feel to me personally compared to some of the newer hip hop albums you hear. I'm not bashing anything, but Long Live ASAP, honestly not my kind of my style. Like some of the songs on there, but really it's just his rapping. It's not my thing. The beats, though they're kind of aiming towards more traditional 90s, they're really not my thing. Okay, back to the actual album itself. Just show you my record first. On this side, that's side A. Side B. Let's try and put these back in without wrecking it. So this is great to listen to, just the beats. You can buy the album online in the store with beats and with the music itself, you know, lyrics and stuff. I would buy that if I were you. Get both. Okay, so on to my next portion of the video, I guess. So he did that album probably maybe February-ish. I honestly don't know an exact date. But he did two versions. The one I just showed you, which was then produced by Younge. He did all the beats, and like I said, he was right there behind him the whole time, just checking up on how he's doing, listening to the beats, telling him what he likes, what he doesn't like, you know, supervising. And then there's the second one, which is called Brown Tape. This record was produced by Apollo Brown, who did a really good job, and personally that's my favorite of the two, just because, I don't know, I feel like it's got a little bit more of the Wu-Tang style to it. It's not that Younge in his version didn't put in like any, what's the word I'm looking for here? Anyway, samples, there you go. There wasn't any, like, there's movie samples, and just kind of stuff you'd expect with the RZA watching over, but I think it was a little bit more predominant, and I like having samples in the music I listen to, which is kind of why I'm more attracted to Wu-Tang, you know, RZA produced kind of beats. And definitely the Apollo Brown version, or the Brown Tape, has a lot more, I feel. So that's one of the reasons I like it more. Definitely, he kind of slows down the pace a little bit in the Apollo, or in Brown's, the Brown version. Whereas Younge, his beats are they're not fast, but they're faster. And definitely, I just overall the Brown Tape is my favorite. However, this is your first time and you want to listen to it, I would recommend going on YouTube, looking up the full album, and listening to the Adrian Younge version first, because that's kind of what Ghostface chose to market as his main version. So definitely check that out. Now you have to listen to the whole album. You can't just, well, I guess you could pick one or two songs as your favorite and listen to that over and over again. But for your first time listening to it, you really need to listen to the whole album, listen to what he's saying, because it's like a movie. There's parts in specific songs where he's getting really intense, he's getting into character like an actor would. But definitely, like lots of the Wu-Tang albums, I personally noticed that they're kind of all like movies. Definitely from start to finish, there's kind of a story going to it. In this one, 12 Reasons to Die, first song, or maybe first and second, Ghostface kind of takes on this persona as Tony Stark, which he's been known to because he likes to take on personas such as Iron Man, and also just kind of Marvel characters because they're very into comic books. So he takes on this persona and he joins the DeLucas family mob. So right then and there you can tell it's going to be kind of a mob kind of movie, which in my opinion it suits Ghostface because he just kind of looks like a kind of mob guy, in my opinion. But really what I'm seeing, or what I'm hearing, is that he joins the DeLucas family. He says that he's one of the only colored guys in the family. At one point in one of the songs I think he says like, I'm rocking the fro among white boys or something. It's not a direct quote, but something along those lines. And he, in the third and fourth song, I'm thinking, he leaves the family to start his own, and they're just basically, like, it doesn't talk too much about his family, like the one that he starts, but the DeLucas family gets really mad at him. And then in Enemies All Around Me, or one of those songs, I think it's one before it, can't remember what it's called right now, but great song. It talks about how Ghost, or I guess Tony Stark, in this album meets a girl. He loves her, talks about how she'll never leave him, he'll never leave her. She knows his lifestyle because she's from a crime family, but he doesn't say what, so it's kind of like foreshadowing towards what's going to happen. Spoiler alert. And really just how their love is going to last forever. But right at the end, can't remember who it was, give me 1 second to check here. Capadonna, and the song's called Center of Attraction, by the way. Know it on iTunes. But anyway, Capadonna comes in towards the end, and he says, like, yo, Tone, she's not gonna be faithful, and basically just how, like, she's not good for you. He knows that she is kind of iffy, sketchy, if you will. I think at one point he says, anyway, so the next song, Enemies All Around Me, the DeLucas mob show up at Tony's house. They pull up with guns and they run in, and Capadonna looks outside and he says, yo, Tone, you know who these guys are. You've seen them before. And then he just says she's a setup chick, which is basically the whole point of the previous song. And therefore, he kind of finds out. He gets kind of mad. Then the DeLucas family comes in, they kill him, and separate him to like 12 vinyl records, I believe, if my memory serves me correct, it doesn't make much sense, but I'm sure there's a deeper meaning to it, which I don't understand at the moment. And then Ghostface kind of rises from the dead, kills all the DeLucas family, gets his revenge, and that's basically the album. So what are my opinions on it? Sorry, that was my phone. Definitely one of my favorite Ghostface albums. Compared to Ghostini, the Wizard of Poetry, I mean, anything's not the hate on Ghost, but that was a terrible, terrible record. So really, this one's definitely better than that. This one before this, Apollo Kids, was definitely a good album. This is kind of one of my favorites when I lean towards telling people about Ghostface Killah, because there's definitely lots of tracks on there that have like a deeper meaning to them. It's just a really good album. Like Ghetto was a really good song. I enjoyed that. I used to run to that probably last summer. And just lots of songs in there. The first track, can't remember what it's called. Great song. Talks about how he's helping children in Africa and all that. So check out that album too, Apollo Kids. But anyway, 12 Reasons to Die. Now, if we're looking at the Adrian Younge, like I said, a little bit faster in terms of beats, flow, and what he's rapping. But it's all the same content, essentially. Like, if you just want to listen to what he's saying and the story of it, like I was explaining, then either one's the same. It's kind of just the delivery of it, the way the beats are produced, that's all that's really changing. Definitely got, like, you can feel the Wu-Tang influence. Definitely. It's predominant. You can see lots of, like I said, it's got the boom bap kind of beats from the 90s. Ghost hasn't really changed that much, other than Ghostini, which not the best album. We're not talking about that right now. And seeing that he hasn't made an album in a while, like, I think Apollo Kids was like 2008, and this is the newest one, as far as my knowledge. Definitely, this is one of my favorites. From Ghostface. I would recommend, like I already said, if you're first listening to this, go with the Adrian Younge tape, because that's the one that he chose to sell outwardly, not meant predominantly. When we compare this album to Iron Man, his first album, first solo album anyway, came out in 1995, I believe. Completely produced by the RZA. Great tracks. Probably one of my favorite is Poisonous Darts. Definitely a great album. Check this out. But like I said, when comparing this to 12 Reasons to Die, you can definitely see how his style has changed a little bit. Not by much, but you can see he's kind of a little bit more, like his rhymes are a little bit quicker. He's definitely a lot faster to punchlines. It's kind of like in this album, like I said already, it's kind of got a classical tone to it. There's lots of singing in this one, whereas Iron Man was more rapping and like members of the clan helping out with choruses and stuff, as well as with Liquid Swords from the GZA. But definitely in 12 Reasons to Die, you see a lot more singing from, like, just more kind of, it's not pop, but it's definitely like kind of indie rock at times. Sometimes it's just like kind of an opera feeling to it. Like I said, completely just kind of classical feel, definitely older style. And I think it really helps affect to the dramatic just tone of the whole album. It's like I said, it's a movie, essentially, so it really helps out, and it was a good choice, both parts, from Adrian Younge and from Apollo Brown. And yeah, Massacre, another great album. Check this one out. It was a collaboration between Method Man, Ghostface Killah, and Raekwon. This is another kind of comic book based album. I don't remember if I said it or not, but 12 Reasons to Die is kind of based off a comic book, and I don't believe it's available anymore, but when the album first came out, you can get it with a comic book, a few vinyls, and a regular DVD, maybe a shirt. But anyway, so this is another comic book related Wu-Tang album involving Ghostface Killah. This is a great album, but I'm comparing it to 12 Reasons to Die or some of his older stuff. It's a lot more violent. I don't know if it's because like the Raekwon's influence. Personally, I feel Raekwon, like, I like his music, but it's kind of more on the violent side, if you know what I mean, based off what he's talking about. And basically, this is a lot, like I said, it's more violent in this, but he's taking on a character, and that's what Ghostface does. He takes on a character. In 12 Reasons to Die, for example, he talks about having minx coats, eating minx, which is essentially what you would imagine from a mob godfather. Like I said, he really takes on that persona, and he's like an actor in his own music. So would I recommend this album? 12 Reasons to Die, I mean, yes. As I said before, when you're starting out, get the traditional, or I guess not traditional, but get the Younge version, and then the hologram. So, I guess maybe I'll do like what to listen to next kind of thing. If you're looking for a female rapper, one that I've been checking out lately, or listening to, Kitty Pryde. I think she goes by Kitty at the moment. Great rapper. She started out as a joke kind of thing, like she didn't really try. And when you listen to her, she is a little bit more like self-conscious, quiet, and shy. Check her out. Songs like A Shawty 3.0. She did a song with Riff Raff, who's not my favorite artist, but he did get in that song. I think it was called The Ryan's Bell. There's a few songs. She did a song a while back. I can't remember who she did it with. But it was called... actually, I can't even remember. But anyway, check her out. She's a great artist. Another artist to check out. If you like this, probably just check out some of the older Wu-Tang albums, like solo albums, solo projects. The Wu-Tang affiliates, check out some of their stuff. One of my favorites, as I've already said, is the RZA. The Cure is a great album, Birth of a Prince. Also some of the stuff he did is Bobby Digital, which was his alter ego. Check some of that out, and yeah. So I'll probably do a video maybe next week, we'll see, I'm pretty busy. So yeah, peace.